Yeah. My spirit bear witness, all I see is the truth. Who else gonna believe you ain't believing in you? Faith is a root, obedience is the fruit. All we can do is just pray, cause it's hell down here. In the belly of the beast, and I'm so sincere. Dwelling with my brothers, all I found was hope. Them God's people that you hung on rope. Humble what we had, we was raised up poor. Every soul gon' live, cause this life is show. Can't commune with you niggas unequally yoked. Now I search for Yahweh love. Ain't no love like this. His time's up, he going back to the bottomless pit. Two or more gather, no God to miss. We in them last days holding on with a grip. And if you look around, you can see he exists. You can see he exists. Yeah.
Time fade, what you waiting on? Come back to the Father, start obeying. Meditating on His word all day long. Got my mind on the kingdom and it's greatness, greatness. Time fade, what you waiting on? Come back to the Father, start obeying. Meditating on His word all day long. Got my mind on the kingdom and it's greatness.
I'm that black rose that grew up out the concrete. Focus on the things in my reach, not beyond me. My old ways was catch a mold. We them lost tribes, greater story never told. Gotta thaw it out when your heart on froze. Gotta watch and pray on days on end. Be vigilant, cause we gon' win. Keep pressing towards the mark till my eyes don't blink. With the salt of the earth, well seasoned with speech. I gotta reach the lost sheep. Yeah, the world for the meat. All this knowledge where your tongue. Watch how I bench press and love more, offend less. It's word endless. Spreading truth is my interest. In Yahawashi, all things become new. Gotta love your brother, stick together like glue. Put my hope in the Lord, got the kingdom in my view.
Time fade, what you waiting on? Come back to the Father, start obeying. Meditating on His word all day long. Got my mind on the kingdom and it's greatness, greatness. Time fade, what you waiting on? Come back to the Father, start obeying. Meditating on His word all day long. Got my mind on the kingdom and it's greatness.
Turn my failures to lessons, losing ain't an option, waiting on my blessings. Turn my failures to lessons, losing ain't an option, waiting on my blessings. I'm crying out, can't hold it in, gotta stay the course, we supposed to win. Done seen it all, it's time to prosper, elevate, it's time to prosper. The world at your neck like a violin. Instruments of cruelty gon' be their end. Satan gon' knock, but don't let him in. We born in a battle that'll never cease. I believe, I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe, I believe. We ghetto dreaming projects full of broken hearts. Picking up the pieces, this is just a start. Somewhere there's a flower trying to bloom out the concrete. I left a trail full of dry petals, trying to spark the mind and not the barrel. If I can't smell, I won't like blush. Things of the world don't entice us. If she loyal, God-fearing, then you wife her. We the chosen, you can't sign her. World for the meek, this is all us. Earth having labor pains, soon it's a due date. Yeah. Earth having labor pains, soon as a due date. Yeah. I gotta count the joy, ain't no taking it from me. Brothers by my side, can't be done by my lonely. Embracing everything what the Lord got for me. Through the battles and the trials, I'm just telling my story. I gotta count the joy, ain't no taking it from me. Brothers by my side, can't be done by my lonely. Embracing everything what the Lord got for me. Through the battles and the trials, I'm just telling my story. I'm just telling my story.
They say sometimes you gotta smile when you count the joy, cause truthfully nothing amounts to joy. We veterans on battlefields where we survived all of the plots employed. Live to arise in early morning and speak life to boys. The small things they say it really matter. Recovering from my letdowns and all the dreams that were shattered. Lost it all and got it back, that's what we call living. Meditate on His compassion, give the offer of thanksgiving. It's brick by brick, it's what it's gonna take to build this building. And every effort's present when we represent for children. Cause we ain't have a guide or an image or a script. We was young and hostile and we was riding with a grip. My pops told me it's a price to pay. I counted joy, he saved my life today. No matter what been thrown my way, I'm always keeping faith. To obtain this crown, we gotta run this race. So humbly, we approach the throne of grace.
I gotta count the joy, ain't no taking it from me. Brothers by my side, can't be done by my lonely. Embracing everything what the Lord got for me. Through the battles and the trials, I'm just telling my story. I gotta count the joy, ain't no taking it from me. Brothers by my side, can't be done by my lonely. Embracing everything what the Lord got for me. Through the battles and the trials, I'm just telling my story. I'm just telling my story. Where I'm from, niggas die before diplomas. This body being lent, we not the owners. Devil want your soul, but it's the Lord that's in control. Now I shine through the struggle, that's the light they can't hold. I turn my tears into trophies and these scars full of gold. He directed all my steps, no compass, just faith. But I'm hungry for the knowledge, all I do is scrape plates. And every L is tuition, I'm just learning to count the joy. Invest in my peace because this life be so heavy. It ain't built for the weak, I'm still climbing but I'm higher than my old views. You can't believe them lies and everything they told you. I eat the whole roll, I call it soul food. Gotta count the joy, you can't count the hurt. I die daily, a new man risen from the dirt. I put the Lord first, you better know your worth. Cause some spend their life, but they stay the same. These days I smell like a diamond. Gotta count the joy, ain't no taking it from me. Brothers by my side, can't be done by my lonely. Embracing everything what the Lord got for me. Through the battles and the trials, I'm just telling my story. Gotta count the joy, ain't no taking it from me. Brothers by my side, can't be done by my lonely. Embracing everything what the Lord got for me. Through the battles and the trials, I'm just telling my story. I'm just telling my story.
You facing the fire and you feeling the heat. Count it all joy, take a seat, the Most High is undefeated, my brethren. The scripture is the truth and not a myth. Trials hit hard, my God, but it comes with a gift. The test of your faith, you gotta stand up and grow. Don't let the pressure take over, just let the spirit flow. It's an opportunity, not a setback. Understand? James 1 verse 2, that's the Father's command. Every tribulation's a setup for a praise. You unlocking new levels in these perilous days. The enemy brain struggle, but God bringing strength. Dear Lord, I pray that my soul that you keep. So when troubles get heavy, stand firm in your spot. It's refining you to gold. Now look what you got. Embrace the affliction. Keep your mind on the goal. Let patience have a perfect work. Watch God save your soul.
Vinyl genius. Wish I had Keep Sweat in the background, cause I'ma sweat on this one. I discern you remember that night in McCullough Park. Spoke to you, Lord, show me your face, show me who you are. I can endure the pain, trust. Look at all these scars, even pops withering away. I pour all my heart. Moms can't deal with me cause I chose all the wrong instead of right. Just wanna vibe, so have you heard of me? You open my eyes and I need surgery. I make me sick cause I felt you all the way. Was never atheist. These pages exit Jesus, I had to exit Jesus. Black men in America, yeah, you best believe it. Sounded hella Greekish, so when I saw your burnt feet, I could imagine Peter's. Chanel braided this woolly hair with melanated fingers. Gotta escape the preachers, find the ancient teachers. Endow me, please, with wisdom, Lord, from the gated kingdom. The one and only Yahawashi, yes, you gave me freedom. I'm on my exegesis. Every page I flip, eyes got smoke, tear to a drip. Lord, I'm on, thug to a prince. What am I holding? Who found me here when I was broke? Every page I flip, eyes got smoke, tear to a drip. Lord, I'm on, thug to a prince. What am I holding? Who found me here when I was broke? Yeah, salvation in Matthew 24. Swing chariot, swing low. Spreading light through the world on a couple primos. On my exegesis, niggas, I ain't Negro. I'm your chosen, felt it back and I'm eating cheese flow. Turn the mic up, turn they hype up, let the people go. Cause know this gospel here reveals y'all evils. Threw off that rock and wear clear. No fooling me, oh, how about they know us? They hit us and choked us from the life we own once. So I spit like locusts, cause when you tied them ropes up and you had your hopes up, Yahweh looked down on us. Our power, that gold dust, your tower X'd in old dust. Like the ancient Egypt, can't you see your paraplegic heresies and fantasies? HBO, that canopy. And the ironic thing, nigga, I still can't believe. Exegesis. Every page I flip, eyes got smoke, tear to a drip. Lord, I'm on, thug to a prince. What am I holding? Who found me here when I was broke? Every page I flip, eyes got smoke, tear to a drip. Lord, I'm on, thug to a prince. What am I holding? Who found me here when I was broke? Every page I flip, eyes got smoke, tear to a drip. Lord, I'm on, thug to a prince. What am I holding? Who found me here when I was broke? Every page I flip, eyes got smoke, tear to a drip. Lord, I'm on, thug to a prince. What am I holding? Who found me here when I was broke? Yeah, there.
That's a bad guy.
I keep on striving for a better way of life. The devil's disguising, the earth's in turmoil and in strife. We are surviving, looking for the better days. Lord, protect our life, guide us closer to your light. He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. I'm trying to run this race, I'm trying to finish in first place, and hear, well done my servant, oh.
Rip me out my chains, cause I don't wanna be here. Thankful to the Father, I got eyes so I can see clear. Taught us that the sickness we inherit is hereditary. Reputation could be passed down to make us legendary. Seems as if the strong could bear the burden and we never weary. But the thoughts that cross my mind in real time is hella scary. When you die and meet your demise, they say you viraled in. But on the earth there's no checking in when niggas spiraling. The therapy the music tend to give us with the slightest pin, I make the wind feel less destructive when we surviving it. I only enter into this music to remind you, with hopes and wishes that this light I'm vibing with finds you. And even when the shade is great, push through, motherfucker, and shine through. Cause we the hope and the elect, I'm talking times two. We the hope, we the elect, I'm talking times two. And when it's all said and done, it's only you. In a dark place, they tried to eradicate the whole dog race. They took the earth by a hand and ripped the crown off the heads of the ones that own this land. And then they made a brand, they put cement over the bones and made businesses. And then they told us this was our home. And then they tried to replicate our religion and made it a clone. And then they told us we was wicked. But if we bowed to white Jesus, somehow we will receive forgiveness. Seeing the presence of our fathers on the top of all our wish lists, and even used shoes was wrapped and presented to us as gifted. We believed in a wooden cross. When we seen black stars on television, we stood in awe. Niggas that chop your legs down and ask how couldn't y'all? Anger misplaced for opportunity, then who wouldn't brawl? If it's all love, then why you niggas break your treaty? The hood ain't a place that's known to comfort, uplift the needy. But I got a shepherd in the valley and he leads me. When we get blessed, then it's true that we all eat. We come from the colleges and churches, some of us all street. Salvation, everything, my life is what it cost me. Warring against negative forces, get them off me. Standing on business, nigga, I'm on top of the ship. Battlefield uncertain, so I'm clutching the grip. I'm a warrior, never let my heart turn weak. Never let my pride triumph over the side of me that's meek. We the people of the creek, from the plains of the savannah, passed down oral history. The sister of my grandma, know that they witnessed the recollection and they can't stand you. We striving for a better day, more opportunities like better work and better pay, to live in liberty and know the Lord and not the devil's way. If you understand, rock to this, let the letter play, cause the doors are open, so you know we seek a better way, striving for a better life.
He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. I'm trying to run this race. I'm trying to finish in first place. And here, well done, my servant. Well done, my servant. Oh.
Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases, who redeemeth thy life from destruction, who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Things that I endure feel like they damn near killed me. And I lived it dolo, I don't want nobody near me. Broken hearted hearing that my brother pleading guilty. Just another circumstance, a world so filthy. KB got pinched, the feds said that he was out of bounds. Handful of charity for him, there was not a sound. Acting out in school, parents beefing, father's not around. If you dream to fly high, the hood niggas shot you down. Lord, give me strength, I've been patient and I'm waiting. Through the wiles of the devil, I've been battling with Satan. I said, let it to my sons, give you something that'll bless your soul. Patience is a virtue, value close, and it's next to gold. Plan to reach the hoods that's close to us, even Mexico. If you take this oath, it ain't no flaking, we gon' step for show. Father, see my enemies surround me, would you bless my soul? Father, see my enemies surround me, would you bless my soul? Just endure the bumpy roads, no need for making mistakes. If we step across the world and it possess you to hate, then you a coward in the cut and couldn't step with the apes. We came from facing our fears many years before puberty. Warfare erupted from the smoke, I told him you and me. As you can see, we trying to build us a legacy, to mold our sons into a different kind of pedigree. We defied the fact that life is over from a felony. Praise ye the Lord, won't you sing a holy melody? Living miracles, sparking slander and sparking jealousy. Gotta stand up manfully and move with zealousy. Unmerited favor, that's what all of us got. And none of us know the end, cause we ain't calling the shots. So we flooding the blocks, the goal is giving them hope to reverse the sting of death, and we breaking the yoke. The yoke.
Understand that your biggest battle is you.
for you. Pray to the Lord and hear God you do. Forgive us for our sins, have mercy on our souls. Fearing your judgment that keep me on my toes. Let God be true and every man that liar. Cast your burdens on them and watch your weight get lighter. You gotta weather through them storms, but them clouds don't stay. So give me some clarity and show me your way. And put a hedge around my home and protect my gate. Yesterday I seen a man forgive a man for killing his son. It showed me hope, but the war ain't won. As long as you try, he extend his love. Every soldier got a story to tell. Constantly watching, only signs will tell. I found hope living cross from hell. And it's a war outside, no one is safe. Cause we the lost sheep, led astray. Just pace yourself when you fall in this race. Adversity is just a test of your faith. Embracing your love, I can't wait no more. Seek him now before he close that door. Conquer self when I in a war. Conquer self when I in a war. Gotta conquer self when I in a war. It's time to conquer. It's time to overcome. Fight temptation. Fight this world. Gotta trust the purpose, he got plans for you. I pray to the Lord and hear God you do. Forgive us for our sins, have mercy on our souls. Fearing your judgment that keep me on my toes. Let God be true and every man that liar. Cast your burdens on them and watch your weight get lighter. You gotta weather through them storms, but them clouds don't stay. So give me some clarity and show me your way. And put a hedge around my home and protect my gate. Yesterday I seen a man forgive a man for killing his son. It showed me hope, but the war ain't won. As long as you try, he extend his love. My remedy, Kabbalah. Man of faith. If you woke up this morning and that's a victory, being of this world ain't did shit for me. Cause that's his story, not my history. Seeking the Father to get a sense of me. Got my mind on the kingdom, I see it vividly. Better guard your mind, protect your energy. Gotta cleave to your word, that's my remedy. Gotta cleave to your word, that's my remedy. Spirit of life got us stood on our feet. Don't be deceived, they got a heart full of deceit. We daily oppressed, so we mourn and we weep. Just a messenger. When you see some light, that's a breakthrough. Concrete jungle, it's a damn zoo. Eyes wide, while they live on snooze. I'm hoping what you touch impacts some souls. Picture perfect, nigga, like a centerfold. I'm all about my bread, that's the dinner roll. Do it on my lonely, you can send the word. I remember drinking until my speech was slurred. But karma is the bitch, you better treat it right. It's power in these thoughts, she gave me mic. But this your life, nigga roll the dice. Eviction notice, try not to notice. But through your ups and downs, trying to find your purpose. Girded in this truth, blocking evil forces. Good intentions, create your invention. No huddle, fourth and inches. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on your way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. Since the snotty nose, I've been kind of bold. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on my way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. But since the snotty nose, I've been kinda bold. You headed to them streets, trying to fill the void. Trying to box with God, trying to win our Floyd. All these traps, gotta count the joy. I lift my voice up like a trumpet though. Wash away these sins and these transgressions. Change your outlook, that's your only weapon. But we the black Jews, these is mental Jews. Trying to set a pace while they drive on cruise. Can't trust their actions, they intent is cruel. I'm from a sunny place where it's shady people. Erase your history and they say we equal. Do your all in this world, they make you feeble. Built these corporations, look how they treat you. Get up on your grind, I'm thinking ownership. I know your past mistakes equate to something better. He give visions to the blind. Helen Keller. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on your way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. Since the snotty nose, I've been kinda bold. Keep on trying, heart of a lion. Keep on climbing on my way to Zion. Highs and lows, no time to fold. But since the snotty nose, I've been kinda bold.
All right. Shalom, shalom to everyone in the chat. Shalom to those joining, to those coming in. Going to be getting started shortly. All right. So, we gone into Christmas yesterday, 25th. We know it's not the birthday of Christ. We know it's paganly rooted. We know that has nothing to do with the Bible or the scriptures. It's not even outlined within the Bible to keep. It is a holiday kept by the world and the Gentiles. It is not a holy day that's supposed to be kept by the nation of Israel, which make up the Black, Native, and Hispanics, which we are. Compromising up of 12 tribes. So tonight's lesson, all of you see the title, An Intercessor on Our Behalf. We're still in the winter season, and we know about dedication and what took place, what occurred, and what happened with Antiochus, the Hellenization program that occurred, happened, and took place. And we know about everything that transpired with the killing and the persecution of the Jews. Mattathias and his sons, who was Aaronite, a priest that is a descendant of Aaron, a Levite, that took him and his 5 sons, who was from the village of Modin, and fought back against the Greeks and their representatives and killed them and slayed them, so on and so forth, which eventually led to the falling out of the Maccabean revolt. So we know about that. But one thing I wanted to go into pertaining to was the one thing that we have to understand is what got us through that time. Throughout all generations of Israel, the Lord has always left and had a righteous remnant, right? The Lord has always had a certain preserved number of men and women that would rise up to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments and remain faithful to his name. We have to understand that we are to be and to do the same and to be called that because we want to aspire to be of the hopeful elect, as Paul says. So with that being said, I want to go into what an intercessor is. An intercessor is a person who intervenes on behalf of another, especially by prayer. It is one who goes in between someone and God. They plead and mediate on behalf of another person or group. And we know who our mediator is, who is King and High Priest, that is Yahawashi Hamashiach. And we know that on our behalf, he speaks and is a representative for us to the Most High, being his only begotten Son. And we need to be grateful because, again, as I emphasized, throughout all times and generation, there's always a righteous remnant in proportion of Israelites that the Lord has kept as the grape of a cluster of grapes. If any of you haven't read the history within Kings and Chronicles, Queen Athaliah was queen at one point in the southern kingdom as Judah, known as Judah. And as she reigned for 6 years, what she wickedly did was try to wipe out the entire line of David. And a righteous priest by the name of Jehoiada kept the last of David's son alive. So we need to realize or understand, had it not been for him, there would literally be no New Testament. Had it not been for him, we would literally, invalidatingly, would be Old Testament only Israelites. And I say that to say, had it not been for him and the Lord, more importantly, leaving behind a righteous remnant, we would not presently be here because we don't know where we'd be without Yahawashi. And the reason why I emphasize that is because we needed the priest at that time, Jehoiada, to do that, because now we have a New Testament and we're able to continue reading past just the 39 books written of within the Old Testament. So that is what an intercessor is. We know Yahawashi is our intercessor. We know angels can also intercess for us on our behalf to the Most High, and also at times has delivered us. Prayer, which is what we're going to be going into in this class. Prayer is an invocation or an act to deliberately communicate with God. It is a solemn request for help or expression of thanks addressed to God. Prayer is a direct address to God by petition, word, and thought. Shalom to Ram DMV. We know this because the scriptures not only outline it, we all should be praying and ought to pray. The one thing that has to be emphasized is that prayer is also a weapon. And I'm going to get into some scriptural examples, but tonight, the main scriptural example I'm going to use is 2 Chronicles chapter 20. This is at the time that the kingdom is split between north and south, so the kingdom is no longer one and united. They are divided and apart between Judah and Israel. This particular king by the name of Jehoshaphat is one of the descendants of King David's line. And at this particular time in the story, he prayed to the Most High for what was about to take place and happen. And I'm going to outline and get into why I entitled this lesson the way I did. So 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 1 says, "And it came to pass after this also that the children of Moab and the children of Ammon, and with them on beside the Ammonites, came against Jehoshaphat to battle. So Ammon and Moab joined up together to go battle against Judah. Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, There cometh a great multitude against thee from beyond the sea on this side Syria, and behold, they be in Hazazon Tamar, which is En-gedi. And Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek the Lord and proclaimed a fast throughout all Judah." I want to emphasize that. He was told the news from the watchman about these two nations that came up against him. And the first thing he did, though being afraid, was he set himself to seek the Lord and proclaim the fast throughout all Judah. So in verse 4 it says, "And Judah gathered themselves together to ask help of the Lord, even out of all of the cities of Judah they came to seek the Lord. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of the Lord before in the new court." So all of the nation of Judah at this time is praying before the Most High, and the fast is set throughout the land for what they believe is about to occur with this invasion by two nations that they are outnumbered by. It's not that they can't fight, they are outnumbered against Moab and Ammon to the east. So verse 6, This is when he begins to pray after setting himself out to seek the Lord, and the fast is declared. And said, O Lord God, our Father of our fathers, art not thou God in heaven? And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thine hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? Notice the first thing he did was acknowledge who the Lord was, the God that he is, and acknowledge the high place that the Lord God is in. First of all, you're in heaven. You rule over all the kingdoms of the earth, and you rule with power and might, and no one can stand before you. Verse 7 is very much key to this whole prayer, and I'm going to kind of skip the gun here and say this is why his prayer was answered. Verse 7 says, art not thou our God, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend forever. Now, Abraham, in mentioning that name, is a prestigious way to gain favor and to quickly get a response from the Most High, because Abraham is the friend of God. That name and title is only second to Yahawashi being the son of God himself. And the reason why this prayer was answered was because Jehoshaphat, being a descendant of King David, who was to be a light always in Jerusalem, reminded the Most High that this land here belongs to Abraham, your friend, and you gave it to his descendants and promised them through a covenant that you would be with them and you would be their God and they be your people. Verse 8, and they dwelt therein, and have built thee a sanctuary then for thy name, saying, if, when evil cometh upon us as the sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and cry unto thee in our affliction, then thou wilt hear and help. Now, that prayer, this prayer in verse 9 that Jehoshaphat is mentioning, a part of this prayer, this is from King Solomon when he was finished building the temple, and he made the prayer in 1 Kings chapter 8. This is what Jehoshaphat is referencing in verse 9. Verse 10, and now behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir. So Esau even joined them afterwards. So now he's up against three nations, Moab, Ammon, and Esau. So now this is not just a multitude. This is a great multitude that has now come up against King Jehoshaphat to battle and fight against him. Whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade when they came out of the land of Egypt, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. But I say how they reward us to come cast us out of thy possession, which thou hast given us to inherit. O our God, wilt thou not judge them? For we have no might against this great company that cometh against us, neither know what we to do. This is the most important part of the whole prayer. And he said, but our eyes are upon thee. So the might and what to do was not in the hands of King Jehoshaphat and his mighty men and how excellent of warriors they were. It was in the power that the Lord would deliver them out of the hand of this great multitude of these three nations that are now coming up to fight against Judah, which is no longer united with the northern portion of Israel. Keep in mind, they're split at this time. So now it's just the southern half, being Judah, that has to fight against three nations instead of all 12 tribes together fighting against these three great nations. See, if we had all 12, it'd be a different story. But it's not the same story because now it's three tribes, primarily two being Judah and Benjamin, small portion of Levi, fighting against three nations. This is a different story now. Verse 13, and all Judah stood before the Lord with their little ones, their wives, and their children. So this is the entire nation praying at this time and fasting to set themselves out to seek the Lord because they're looking for deliverance from what's about to occur and happen to what they see and believe. Verse 14, then upon Jahaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jeiel, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite of the sons of Asaph, came the Spirit of the Lord in the midst of the congregation. And he said, hearken ye all Judah and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. And thou, King Jehoshaphat, thus saith the Lord unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours but God's. And we have to realize that within our own lives. When things are too great for you, when things seem like they're too high and up above, when things seem like they're out of your might, control, and power, sometimes they're meant to be. And they're meant to be because the battle belongs to the Most High, who would deliver you out of all trial and temptation. Sometimes if it feels like you're weak, it's not because you're weak. The Lord is the strength that you need to rely on. There's a reason why Yahawashi is the cornerstone. There's a reason why he's known as the rock, because from everything is built on top of him, because he is the very foundation. And this is why I've gone into the definition of intercessor in prayer, because both go hand in hand. You must pray so that the intercessor may act and do on your behalf. And this particular priest, Levite, Jahaziel, and his name in the Hebrew is Yahaz, which means God beholds. God sees. And it's like in this time that they're delivered, God beheld what they were going through emotionally and in their turmoil within their prayer, and is going to deliver them out of what they're currently emotionally distressed on and about, because they're being invaded by three great nations that are literally, if I've showed the map before within the First Samuel series, they're literally east and south of us. Edom is south, Moab and Ammon are east. So they're literally all right next to us, coming together to invade the southern portion of Judah. So this particular Levite that has this name, and you can clearly see it being out enacted in the moment, is literally enacting out his name, because God is beholding what is currently happening in the circumstance that is going on at this particular time. And I also want to state and mention, this particular law is actually being fulfilled, because this is a law that Jehoshaphat was actually fulfilling and doing what he did. Let me show you. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 1. Because what he did here is actually a law. Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 1 says, "When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies and seest horses and chariots and the people more than thou," like Jehoshaphat did, "be not afraid of them." Well, he was afraid. "For the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people. It shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies and to save you." So the priest is supposed to go out, remind the people of how the Lord delivered us and took us out of Egypt, and is going to deliver you now. Just because they're greater than you, just because they may have more horses, more chariots, spears, shields, whatever it is, doesn't mean that the Lord cannot deliver you. The Lord delivered us out of Egypt with no military might or power, by the hand of Moses. And if he did that then, why would he not do the same now? When Malachi 3 and 6 says, "I am the Lord, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." So in continuing to read, after the Jahaziel, Yahaz gave them the tidings pertaining to their deliverance, go back to 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 16. It says, "Tomorrow go ye down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz, and ye shall find them at the endness of the brook before the wilderness of Jeruel. Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves array and stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Lord with you, O Judah and Jerusalem. Fear not, nor be dismayed tomorrow to go out against them, for the Lord will be with you." And Jehoshaphat bowed his head with his face to the ground, and all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before the Lord, worshiping the Lord. And the Levites of the children of the Kohathites and of the children of the Korhites stood up to praise the Lord God of Israel with the loud voice on high. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. As they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, "Hear me, O Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in the Lord your God, so shall ye be established. Believe his prophets, so you shall prosper." And when he had consulted with the people, he appointed singers unto the Lord, that should praise the beauty of holiness as they went out before the army, and to say, "Praise the Lord, for his mercy endureth forever." Now this is when the deliverance and the salvation happens that they are about to reveal and see. And when they began to sing to praise, and the Lord set ambushments against the children of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, which were come against Judah, they were smitten. For the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the inhabitants of Mount Seir, utterly to slay and destroy them. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Seir, everyone helped to destroy one another. So, Shalom Lamad, Khan about it, Khan. So this deliverance was so great between these three nations coming up against Jehoshaphat and all of Judah that the Lord made Moab and Ammon destroy and wipe out Esau, and then Ammon and Moab fought each other and everybody killed each other. Verse 24, and when Judah came toward the watchtower in the wilderness, they looked unto the multitude, and behold, there were dead bodies fallen to the earth, and none escaped. And when Jehoshaphat and his people came to take away the spoil of them, they found among them in abundance both riches with the dead bodies and precious jewels, which they stripped off for themselves, more than they could carry away. And they were 3 days in gathering of the spoil, and it was so much. This deliverance that the Lord gave Judah and the inhabitants was so great and to be magnified that they spent 3 whole days getting all of the spoil and everything from all the dead bodies in the field because of how great the salvation was and how magnificently they were delivered without even lifting a hand to fight against any of our enemies. The spoils were so great, it took 3 whole days to get everything off of the battlefield that they won without even having to lift up a spear, lift up a sword, and go and fight. Why do I bring this up, and why do I bring this up? To relate this to Maccabees. Within Maccabees, it's the same theme, it's the same message. We know about the battles. We know chapter 4 when we dedicated the temple again after it was defiled. What we have to understand is that we miss the smaller things that led to the greater victories. It was prayer and it was belief in the Most High. Hebrews 11:6 says that he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is. If you know the Most High, then you know him.
That believeth in the Most High must know that he is, yo. Like, you gotta let that breathe. Like, this is the same, and I think that we do it at different times in our life. This is the same God when Moses, like, if you read different accounts on Moses and historically, it shows you how dark he was as a man. Like, complected, he was dark complected. It's the same God that when Moses put his hand in his bosom, his hand in his bosom, bro, it turned white. You know what I'm saying? It's the same God that once, I always forget the names, but once the children were in the fire, remember that the story?
The 3 holy children.
The 3 holy children, right? They believed that he was. And fire actually did not burn them, yo. So think about that. Like, the first step is you gotta know that the Lord is. You know what I mean? He's outside of anything you can ever imagine. Outside of anything you can ever imagine. We're confined to this space. We're confined to what we can see. You know what I'm saying? He lives outside of that. He orchestrated everything that you can see, yo.
Absolutely.
And everything you can't see. So when you fix your mouth, when you have to be in a space. That's why it says, I'm paraphrasing, but it's inside right when it says, prepare yourself before you pray.
And I have that.
You got that?
You good. It's just that's the point of it. You gotta, and it makes sense why you said to prepare, because why would you just pray to an omnipotent deity that's capable of doing the impossible?
Impossible.
Yeah, he said nothing is too hard.
Nothing, bro. Yo,
if you
that's how I got that. When I talked another like a while back, it was so true because I heard this wise man say it. He said, once the Lord decided to create, that's the day he defied the impossible. Like, yo, you have to understand that God, that omnipotent present chose you. So just remember who you're speaking to when you're going to pray. It's important.
And that's why, like within Jehoshaphat praying, it wasn't what he did, it's how he did about it, because he was afraid, but he set himself to seek the Lord and fasted. And that set the example for the rest of the nation to follow. And the deliverance and salvation was so great and impactful. It took first off, everyone killed each other. They didn't even have to fight. And then it's the fact it took 3 days to take 3 days to take everything. Come on, man. And this is the point of what I'm going to get into now with Maccabees. Judas, we know Maccabath, the Hebrew version of hammer, Maccabeus in English. We know and read the battles. We're excited, but it's like what I'm going to read now is the smaller points that led to the victories. Because in Deuteronomy 20, it says the priest is going to come out and let you know we've been delivered before. He did the impossible, defying science, defying gravity and science of what he made and created and split the sea open. Like if he did that, why would he not deliver us now? Like we're not, first off, our lives aren't on the line. We're not in lions' dens. We're not about to get our heads blown off. Like if he did that before, what is he capable of doing so much more now that we're not capable of getting to? And that's the point. Like he did that amazingly. And this is why we have to understand from the place of Moses and the Most High himself, why do you think he was always angry and ready to just wipe them out? Look at what I just did for you. And not just eradicating your enemies, I broke science for you to see how powerful and how far I'm willing to go for you. And if he did that then, that's why Malachi 3:6 says he's the same God. He never changed. And he added afterwards, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. You may be afflicted, but you're not consumed. The children of Israel in the wilderness were afflicted, but they weren't consumed. They went through trials, but the Lord did that purposely so that you could lean and rely on him. We go through trial and tribulations, not just for our strength and to gain strength, but to remember the Most High is with us. He said he'd put you through the furnace of adversity to refine you as silver, as Isaiah 48:10 says. He did that purposely so that you do not forget he is the source and foundation of life. A humbling scripture in Proverbs 20:24 says that man's going is of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? You know what that means? God has your whole checkbook. Like, in school, how they take attendance and you get your name and then they mark you as present. God has that for your whole life and your existence in his hands. And this is why James said, we have to say, if the Lord will, we should do this or that. God has your whole checkbook. You are not in control of your own life. Everything we do is because he gave us the human capabilities of doing so. Whether we drive, we work, we eat. We have these bodies, we can move, talk, sit down, and do everything else. He has our whole checkbook in his hands. We are nothing but vapors, as the scriptures say, and the same vapor he gave us, he can take it right away. That's why David had to humbly remind us, as did Job, we're dust. Literally, we have components from the periodic table within our own bodies. In our bodies, bro. Like the Lord sometimes got to show out a little bit like you're nothing. I'm the potter. You're the clay.
But guess what, too? The significance of that is that's why it's important for us to remineralize ourselves.
Con.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
we can go different ways with this.
Yo, man, it's like you glorify, but you get humbled. Yo, it's amazing how that works, yo. It's like you gotta praise him, but then you get humbled. It's like that's why Jehoshaphat, he humbled himself and reminded him, like, you're Abraham's friend. Did you forget you made him like Lord, this is your friend, right? You know he was gonna answer like you. Of course you use Abraham. Yeah, he didn't mention David. He said you're gonna listen to Abraham.
That's the
Yo, you know, I was like, as soon as I read, I was like, I already know the Lord answered. Abraham, come on. He skipped over David. He said Abraham. I'm like, you know. He said you gave it to the seed of Abraham, your friend. Like, you know the Lord was going to answer, man. You know you use that powerful badge, just like you know the Lord not good tonight. But the point to the lesson, because me and the General Shemach are going back and forth, is that within Maccabees, we read the battles. We, dedicated the temple. We read about the persecutions. But tonight with these scriptures, I want to outline, as I did in 2 Chronicles, the smaller things that you guys may have read over, but it's a reminder. We can't forget it. In 1 Maccabees chapter 3, this is after Mattathias, the father, dies. Now the Jews are being led by Judas. 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father, and they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. So he gat his people great honor and put on a breastplate as a giant and girt his warlike harness about him, and he made battles, protecting the host with his sword. In his acts he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey. For he pursued the wicked and sought them out, and burned up those that vexed his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because his salvation prospered in his hand. He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever. Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them, turning away the wrath from Israel, so that he was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, and he received unto him such as were ready to perish. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together in a great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel. Which thing, when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him, so he smote him and slew him, and many also fell down slain, but the rest fled. Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius his sword also, and therewith he fought all his life long. This is important because it doesn't just show the faith and the courage that Judas had. It shows how much, in the face of persecution, despite being outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned, outweaponed, how he was still willing to put his faith in the Most High and fight. And this is what I want to emphasize before he went into battles after this, of how he was able to constantly get the victory. Yep. In verse 17, 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 17. No, I'm going to skip up. No, I'm going to skip up to verse 13. 1 Maccabees 3 and 13. Now when Saron, the prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto them a multitude and a company of the faithful to go out with them to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom, for I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandment. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came near to the going up of Beth Horon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company. So Judas is outnumbered. The Greeks have their digits at least 5 to 10,000 plus strong, and we have roughly 3,000, maybe less, right? So verse 17, who then, when they saw the host coming to meet them, and said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? That is key. Judas and his men were fasting while they were in battle. They were in affliction, fighting against the Gentiles and being outnumbered every which way, and still defeating and still being victorious in battle. Verse 18. So the men asked Judas, we're faint from fasting all day. We're now supposed to fight again against the enemy, and we're outnumbered. Verse 18. Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the God of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven. Yes, sir. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children, and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives and our laws. Wherefore the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be ye not afraid of them. I just read this in Deuteronomy chapter 20. Mattathias is a priest of the Aaronite line, so he's also a Levitical priest. And we need to understand Judas being his son also of that line, as the rest of his descendants are. He's exactly fulfilling in Deuteronomy chapter 20 what he's supposed to be. The priest is supposed to come out. Remember, as the Lord did for us then, he will do for us now. And we need to realize and understand this is the same God that delivered us then that is going to deliver us now. And this is exactly why he won the battles that he did. I want to just get the examples. Skipping over to chapter 4 and verse 1. First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 1. Then took Georges 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen and removed out of the camp by night, to the end he might rush in upon the camp of the Jews and smite them suddenly. And the men of the fortress were his guides. Now when Judas heard thereof, he himself removed and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army which was at Emos, while as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp. In the mean season came Georges by night into the camp of Judas, and when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for said he, these fellows flee from us. But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. So they are not even physically equipped and prepared to fight against these people altogether, while the Greeks have the weaponry and the numbers on their side. Verse 8, verse 7. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war. Then Judas said to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day, that so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel. And yes, against the heathen in this particular battle, Judas did get the victory. Why am I reading this? This is no different than what Jehoshaphat did at his time as king, being of the line of David, all the way up until the Greek era in the 2nd century, when this was all taking place and happening during what's known as in history the Maccabean revolt. The Lord delivered us then. The Lord is going to deliver us now. The reason I'm reading this is because he prayed and got his men stirred up in courage and faithfulness, believing in the Most High that he would deliver us as he did before. One more example. In the same chapter, verse 28, First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 28. The next year, therefore, following, Lysias gathered together 70,000 choice men of foot and 5,000 horsemen, that he might subdue them. So they came into Idumea and pitched their tents at Bethsura, and Judas met them with 10,000 men. So I want you guys to understand, Lysias, who is the king's general, came with 65,000 men, foot soldiers, and 5,000 horsemen. So that's 65,000 in total. And Judas met him with 10,000 men. That is a 55,000 man difference that we're outnumbered by. Verse 30, and when he saw the mighty army, he prayed. He prayed and said, blessed art thou, O Savior of Israel, who didst quell the violence of the mighty man by the hand of thy servant David, and gave us the host of strangers into the hands of Jonathan, the son of Saul, and his armbearer. Shut up this army in the hand of thy people Israel, and let them be confounded in their power and horsemen. Make them to be of no courage, and cause the boldness of their strength to fall away, and let them quake at their destruction. Cast them down with the sword of them that love thee, and let all those that know thy name praise thee with thanksgiving. So they joined the battle, and there were slain of the host of Lysias about 5,000 men. Even before them they were slain. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judas's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or to die valiantly, he went into Antiochia and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he purposed to come again into Judea. So just as they were outnumbered, we were outnumbered, because this is a 55,000 man difference, and saw 5,000 of his own men killed by Judas's 10,000. He literally went back north up into Syria to get more soldiers that would then come back down to fight against us, even though they already outnumbered us. That is how great prayer is. Prayer is not just supplications, as is said in Ephesians. Prayer isn't just a solemn request, and it's not just requesting of aid and help from the Most High. Prayer is a weapon. Just as we say brotherhood is a weapon, prayer is a weapon, because the God we serve will fight for us He will fight for you. You can't just pray, you have to believe. Yahawashi said you have to have faith as a mustard seed. And he said that because we are hard-headed people. And sometimes we overcomplicate things and make things too complicated when it's simple. Moses said when it comes to seeking the Lord, it's not deep at the bottom of the sea that you have to go down there and die for it. And it's not so high in heaven that you have to go up there and search in the stars above to search out the Most High. It's right in front of you. It's not hard. It's very simple. He said that because he knew the people he was dealing with. The Jews require a sign. We have to see everything to believe it rather than to just believe. He has these examples that we read about that we left behind in these works for reading so that we know that the same God is still very much present today. He's never changed. He's told Sarah, you're going to have a child by about this time of life. When Sarah laughed within herself, he said, nothing is too hard. Nothing. Which means he's capable of doing everything and anything. He defied science. Something he created and broke, but made at the same time. So if that's the case, and then we know and understand that, why not believe? He set that example for it. That's why you have to believe. That's why you should believe, because if he did it before, he is much more capable of doing it again. This is why we're, as they say, you know, within sports, within fighting, the underdog. Israel has always been the underdog, to show forth that the God you serve is capable of showing you that even as the underdog, you still come out on top. Right? And I provide these examples because we need to realize and understand that this same God that's done this for us is the same God that will do this again and will do it now. And I realize this because, you know, again, we're in the winter season. Let's not skip over these examples and what we read about in Maccabees and realize we are the descendants of these same people. He delivered these people that we read about. We are these people that we're reading about. So why would you not do what he did and follow that same example and copy that? Now on the way to pray and prepare, now we're going to go into Sirach. Sirach chapter 35 and verse 17. Prayer, preparing to pray. Sirach chapter 35 and verse 17. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. So this is explaining that the prayer of the humble and the state of it, how powerful it is that it even goes past the clouds, which are up in the heavens, holding, you know, their water and precipitation. That prayer is that powerful that it goes through them. And you know, when the beauty of flying, right, and being on a plane, I think I was going this past year for Passover, when I was going back and I seen the sun shining over the bodies of water and the clouds. It's like, to behold the Lord's creation and see from up above what he sees is amazing. And to just be flying and going past the clouds, like, that's a different level of science that's just to be comprehended. Like, how can you not believe from looking at what he created that somebody did this? Like, who did this that you can make a plane? First off, you made something to fly through the air, and what you see when you're in the air is just a sight to behold. Like, you're defying gravity, which says everything that's up must come down. And you're going through that in time and space to actually see that what you're beholding and looking at, like, someone did this, which gives evidence of the fact that it was made by a creator. Someone divine and divinely intelligent had to make this, right? So again, the prayer of the humble pierces the clouds. That's how powerful humility is, which is why Proverbs 22:4 says that before the Lord is honor and humility. You know, we say, you know, for those of us that are parents and those of us that have done this to our parents, you know, you talk to your parents a certain way because they are honorable figures in your life. You are supposed to respect and have honor for. You know, your parents, if your parents have ever told you, I'm not one of your little friends, they're right to tell you that because they're not one of your little friends. You don't talk to your parents as though they're your equal, which is why it's in the first 10 commandments. Honor thy father and thy mother. Your parents are above you. You're here. You're not on your parents' level. So in that same way,
never will be.
Right. In that same way, as the general said, you never will be. In that same manner and sense, apply that to the Most High. The Most High is not one of your little friends. That's why in the next scripture we're about to get into, it says to prepare yourself. Well, Jehoshaphat prepared himself and humbled himself, which is why the Lord answered, because he's not on his level. You don't speak to the Most High as if he's just a friend, or you come to him with some level or form of arrogance. Not to say, you know, you won't pray out of distress, frustration, and anger, but there's a way to come to the Most High when you're ready to make of whatever your request is, speaking unto him, because prayer is to be taken very seriously. When you pray, consider that you're writing it as a letter and you're saying, "Dear Lord," your prayer, sincerely your name, and then it's going in the sealed envelope. The angel takes it and gives it unto the Most High. That's how you should look at prayer. I believe it was Raphael in the book of Tobit that said that he's one of the 7 holy angels that presents the prayers before the Holy One.
That's Raphael, right?
The power of healing, or the power to heal. God has given the power to heal, which is a beautiful name within itself. The reason why I say that is because the angel saying that, I believe it was to Tobias, the angel saying that shows you how great of a responsibility he has presenting and giving your prayer unto the Most High, and how big of a responsibility it is on his behalf to even be doing that. Because his job and his role, from what it is you're requesting, is to give it unto the divine, omnipotent, all-powerful creator himself, who then answers it. And that's how important it is. Which is why you should be taking it serious. For this next precept I'm about to read. Sirach chapter 18 and verse 23. Before thou prayest, prepare thyself. Prepare yourself, meaning clear your mind. More importantly, clear your environment. I would hope everyone's different. If the prayer is not on your phone, put your phone down. And make sure you have the space and the environment to properly do so, and you're clear-headed. Because to pray unto the Most High and to pray in general is something serious. And you should be doing it not just often, but also when you have the time to do so, do it sincerely. It is something to be taken serious, because talking to a deity that no dictionary, no encyclopedia, thesaurus in the world can possibly describe, you should not be taking it lightly that you're praying unto him. And you should be deadly taking it seriously, if I can put it that way. And the reason why I say that is because it's not to be taken lightly. That's why the prayers that we did read from 2 Chronicles about King Jehoshaphat up until Judas Maccabeus, the son that led the deliverance and the dedication of the temple in his time, they prayed before the Most High and they were delivered. That's how important and impactful prayer is. And that's why you're supposed to prepare yourself, which means have the space in the room to do so, declutter your mind, let out thoughts, breathe, do what you have to, stretch even, put your phone down, I emphasize that, and pray. It's important. Last precept on this, particularly in Sirach, is Sirach chapter 7 and verse 14. It says, use not many words in the multitude of elders, make not much babbling when thou prayest. Babbling pretty much encompasses repeating yourself or saying things that necessarily may hinder your prayer because you don't mean to say it, or you stumble over something, or you don't know what to say and how to properly articulate it.
Or
go ahead.
So like it goes with the first thing you were saying, like decluttering your mind. There's times where I've prayed, especially in the past, where I'm trying to pray and thoughts from other things is coming into my prayer. I'm like, yo, You know, that's also a form of babbling, right? Confusing. Right? You're being intentional about what you're praying to the Most High, but your thoughts, because they're not decluttered, is confusing your prayer towards the Most High, right? If you break down babble or babbling, what does it mean? Confusion, right? It's all right. So, you know, just what add that.
Sirach chapter 7 and verse 14, and the contemporary English version says, in the town council meeting, don't talk too much, and in your prayers, don't repeat the same things over and over again. And to the general's point, sometimes when you don't have a decluttered mind, you can kind of stumble and say the same things over again, or try to word it a little bit differently because you're trying to get the prayer out, but your thoughts can be overstimulating or coming into your head when you need the time to pray, and it gets frustrating. So it's like, damn, let me start again. Damn, let me start again. Or F, let me start again. Like, you'll do that because you're not mentally right in the head at the time to properly pray as you want to and need to. And because of that, well, you got to take some time to yourself to find the right kind of quiet environment to properly do so. You know, so if you don't get what you need out of your head, and especially out of your heart and your mind, or express yourself or speak about what you feel and your feelings, you're going to passively act it out and pour it out in your behaviors out onto your loved ones, work, driving, whoever it is, so on and so forth, because you're not properly releasing your emotions and what your thoughts are in a healthier manner. So you're going to do it unhealthily. That makes sense? Rose, that was Sirach chapter 7 and verse 14. I also read it in the contemporary English version. So I'll read it again. In a town council meeting, don't talk too much, and in your prayers, don't repeat the same things over and over again. Another precept, Matthew chapter 6 and verse 7. Everyone should know this chapter. This is where the Our Father prayer is. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 7 says, but when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. And I also had this Matthew chapter 6 and verse 7. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 7 in the NLT. When you pray, do not babble on and on as Gentiles do. They think their prayers are answered merely by repeating their words again and again. So it's not repetition like you don't. It's not repetition as in you don't want to repeat yourself because you know you're emphasizing it. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means to stumble over and say the same thing over and over again. Again, it goes back to being clear-minded and clear-headed before you pray and properly preparing yourself accordingly so that you're not stumbling over what you want to and need to say when you're praying. Another precept is Mark chapter 26. It's a lot. Mark chapter 10 and verse 26. Mark chapter 10 and verse 26. And they were astonished out of measure, saying among themselves, who then can be saved? And Yahawashi looking upon them saith, with men it is impossible, but not with God. For with God all things are possible. For with God all things are possible. And the point of why I'm saying that is, and why I'm emphasizing that is because Yahawashi just said so. So when you're praying unto the Father, and we know Yahawashi is our intercessor, he is our mediator that goes unto the Father, we know that we're going to have our prayers answered because he's the only begotten Son that is responsible for our lives. He is our salvation. He is our sacrifice. And thus understanding that, why would we not believe? If he died on the cross and he died for our sins, why would we not believe that we're going to be delivered? When that was a physical sign given to us as a people. Then Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. I want to emphasize that. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Strong tower in this context is Magadal Izah. Strong is Izah, tower is Magadal. Ram Gadal Gabaryam, high exalted. A tower is high, it is exalted, because you need to watch out and see in the distant lands round about, or in your environment of wherever it is you're at, you need to see what's going on. That's why in Jehoshaphat in the prayer it was called the watchtower, because the watchmen are seeing and beholding what's going on. So strong tower is Magadal Izah. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 10 in the Hebrew is Magadal Izah Sham Yahawah Bawa Yerataza Tazadayak Wana Shagab. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Again, Magadal Izah Sham Yahawah Bawa Yerataza Tazadayak Wana Shagab. Yahawah.
I just want to read two precepts.
Go ahead.
That support what you're saying. It says Luke chapter 1, verse 37.
Come.
For with God nothing shall be impossible. And it says Luke chapter 18, verse 27. And he said, the things which are impossible with men are possible with God. So, that's all.
Caught up.
That's self-explanatory. I just want to support what you were saying.
Caught up. And again, we have to believe in order that the things we want may be achieved. And I say that because if the Lord did it then, why would he not do it now? We worship and serve the same God now that the God of our fathers did then, which means if that's the case, then we need to understand, we need to believe now and pray now as they did before. All right. And that will conclude this lesson. Are there any questions, comments, concerns anyone has? Anything anybody wants to add about it? I appreciate you for putting the comments in the chat. Remember, we have an intercessor and someone that acts on our behalf. Please remember that sometimes the trial and tribulations we go through is so that we understand, we know brotherhood is a weapon, but prayer is also a weapon. Because the God we serve has delivered us at times without us even having to fight. And in every single circumstance and situation that we can read about, David and Goliath, Jonathan and his arm bearer against the Philistines in 1 Samuel chapter 13, every single situation we could possibly think of, the Lord has always delivered us. And it was always us being the underdog, being outnumbered, outweaponed, whatever it is you could think of, right?
Is that prayer of a righteous being available much?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you don't understand how powerful your prayers are for yourself, for your family, for one another. Sometimes all you can do is pray for people.
Come. Shalom, sis Makaya. Again, is there any comments, questions, concerns anyone has before we close on out with the lesson? Again, we read the stories, but sometimes the smaller things are very much important. We need to realize and understand that prayer has often gotten us through the worst of times, and we need to realize that if it got us through the worst of times then, it definitely will now. You know, if the Lord is the same then as he is now, we are not to be forsaken and forgotten about. That's why Malachi 3 and 6, he says, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Give me a second.
This is a Hebrew prayer.
All right.
Yahweh,
Praises.
Ba'al Ha-Athayan, Shal Hamawan, Chathath, Wa
With that
Yara'a,
said,
Zakar Nawa,
the brother
Atha,
Hamashiach is
Ya,
going to
Chazak,
close us out with the
Magadal,
prayer I made.
Nathan Nawa, Harakal,
And I recorded for everyone
Natazak, Wakak, La'a, Sha'ar
on
Nawa,
behalf of this lesson. So
Kabak Ka,
he's going to play. I'm just going to wait for him to get it here shortly. That way he's good to go on it. And yeah, pretty much we'll just close out from there. But it's just really to emphasize that we need to.
This is the translation. Our Father, in these times of danger, doubt, and fear, remind us you are the strong tower into which we run. Give us the spirit of strength and courage. Let us not deny your glorifying power. Make the light shine, which is your only begotten Son, and preserve us as the grape of the cluster, as the apple of thine eye. In the name of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, the Wada Thimyad, Aman.